Winchester, England is the ancient capital of England and is steeped in medieval history and charm. Its cobbled streets echo tales of medieval times, and its quaint and inviting atmosphere makes it a fascinating destination to explore in the south of Britain. Join me on a journey as we travel through time, exploring this brilliant city that fosters a captivating blend of English heritage and modern vibrancy. Hey everyone, JP here, and welcome back to another episode of Project Gaia. Today we are in Winchester, England. Yes, Winchester, England. This is the ancient capital of England. Now, this is a fascinatingly historic city. There are lots of things here, including King Arthur's Knight of the Round Table, an amazing cathedral, and a beautiful high street with tons of restaurants and stores with a real medieval feel. Right, so what we're going to do in this tour is we're going to go through Winchester. I'm going to show you the best things to do and see while you're here, as well as explore the city's history. So, let's begin. As you enter the medieval city, pass through Westgate. This gate has been standing proudly since the 12th century and is a living testament to the city's rich history. As you walk through its formidable arches, you are ceremoniously welcomed into history. Westgate really is more than a gate. It's a bridge between eras and proves to be a tangible link to the stories etched into Winchester's ancient stones. Right next to Westgate, check out the castle passageways. These labyrinth-like passageways were once connectors underneath a great castle that stood on this location. Explore them and imagine how they functioned under the castle 800 years ago. Were they dungeons? Were they chapels? Or just a place of storage? So one thing that you must see when you're here in Winchester is the Great Hall, which is behind me. Now, the Great Hall served as part of a kind of a judiciary hall where they had a lot of trials and meetings, and it was part of a larger complex that was here in Winchester, and it was part of like a castle. And this castle was built by William the Conqueror as early as the 10th century, 10th, 11th century. So basically you go in the hall, it's a beautiful hall, and there is a large round table. So a lot of people believe in legend that this is the real Knights of the Round Table. A lot of people don't believe that it's true, but one thing that is true is that King Henry VIII came here during his reign, was so fascinated by the table that he actually had it painted and put his rose in the center of it. And it has an amazing history. So let's head in. The Great Hall is an iconic marvel of medieval grandeur and is best known as the home of the legendary Round Table. The table, crafted in the 13th century, stands as a testament to Arthurian lore. It embodies the ideals of chivalry and the legendary tales of King Arthur and his knights. The table is over 15 feet in diameter and emphasizes the idea of united fellowship amongst the Knights of Camelot. It has a mythical aura and really makes you feel the timeless pursuit of honor and valor. You can really get lost in the labyrinth-like streets of medieval Winchester. You are surrounded by timber frame structures all overlooking narrow car-free lanes. It is an amazingly beautiful city, and you really feel like you've stepped into another world. The world of knights and peasants, merchants and lords. The city embraces its historic center and has outfitted all of the old buildings for modern use in a very attractive manner. Make sure you check out Buttercross Monument. This octagonal structure dates back to the 15th century and once served as a market cross where merchants would sell butter and produce. It is comprised of amazing medieval architecture and craft and really helps you to admire Winchester's historical significance while maybe having a pint underneath it. If you really want to dive into the historical importance of Winchester, make sure you pay a visit to the Winchester City Museum.
This is a very well done museum that helps you get acquainted with Winchester's story from Roman times to the medieval to the last couple of centuries. You first begin in the Roman section. Check out these amazing Roman art and artifacts found right in the area. The next floor teaches you about Winchester's medieval history. Here you can see more artifacts found all around the city, as well as interesting religious sculpture taken from the nearby cathedral. The next floor shows you the more recent history of the city, focusing on the Victorian era. Here you can see famous businesses that began and prospered in Winchester, as well as a large and to scale diorama of the city during the 19th century. Try and see if you can find where you had that last pint.
So one thing that you're going to notice when you're here in Winchester is that this is a pretty wealthy community. Now, this is one of the wealthiest areas in England, right? So you're going to see a lot of high-end stores and restaurants, and a lot of dogs, a lot of upper-end, retail. So that's kind of the vibe around here. Got a lot of people with a lot of money spending it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful city.
Check out the city's statue to Alfred the Great. Alfred was one of England's most legendary kings, known for uniting kingdoms, securing peace with the Vikings, and his many educational reforms. And he reigned from, you guessed it, right here in Winchester, the ancient capital of England. An interesting sight that you must see in Winchester is the Winchester City Mill. There has been a mill on this exact location for over 1,000 years, with some records dating a mill here in 932 AD. The current structure was last rebuilt in 1744, and you can go inside for free. There's a small museum, and you can learn all about its history and how it has been working for the city for centuries. It also has an attractive outdoor cafe that is surrounded by lush and attractive gardens along the rushing River Itchen. Make your way to the bottom of the mill, where you can get up close and personal with the river and see how the mill worked untouched from several hundred years ago. Right next to the Winchester City Mill is Abbey Gardens. This is an excellent place to take a break during your journey through Winchester because it is an amazingly beautiful park filled with blossoming gardens, attractive foliage, small brooks, and tidy lawns. It's a perfect place to reflect on the amazing history of this place and helps you feel more connected to the stories and souls of the past echoing throughout Winchester.
So the main thing you have to see when you're in Winchester is Winchester Cathedral. So this cathedral has a fascinating history, and it has its beginnings in the 11th century, and it was built between the 11th century to about the 1500s. It has a very long history and is very important to the city and really represents a medieval piece of heritage for Winchester. Now, this is one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in the world, so it is very interesting to see, and you could spend about an hour or two here. So, let's head in.
Winchester Cathedral is a timeless marvel of Gothic architecture that boasts a rich history dating back over a millennium. Its awe-inspiring grandeur is something out of a fairy tale and really makes you feel connected to something greater. As you wander through its hallowed halls, you'll discover echoes of medieval England, from its majestic nave to its glorious stained glass windows. Make sure you see the Holy Sepulchre Chapel. In here you can see original 12th century wall paintings depicting the deposition and entombment of Christ. It is amazing that these paintings have lasted over 900 years and still inspire Christian spirituality. Also, check out the crypt. This labyrinth-like foundation often floods, and you can see the eerie Sound 2 statue, which depicts a man in deep prayer, and sometimes he is flooded all around. What I love about wandering through Winchester Cathedral is how connected you feel to the ancient capital of England. These walls have seen the tales of time and have heard the prayers of millions of souls before us. Its exquisite beauty allowed the medieval people to escape the disease and squalor right outside the cathedral doors and become connected to something beautiful, something loving, and something greater than the mundane reality of everyday existence. And I would definitely say that the cathedral achieves the same effect to this day. The cathedral also boasts an interesting museum where you can learn all about its history and see the bones of Queen Emma of Normandy, who died in 1052, and her remains were just discovered here in 2019. If you want to have lunch or dinner in a historical pub, I recommend you check out the Eclipse Inn. The food and drinks were good, and you could hang out in the front or enjoy a meal by the fire in this historical building dating back to the 16th century.
Now, one place that you have to check out when you're in Winchester is Wolvesey Castle, or the Bishop's Palace. Now, this is a ruined palace that belonged to the Bishop of Winchester. So if you're not aware, members of the clergy usually were of a wealthier class. Usually they were born into it, but sometimes could accumulate the wealth. This kind of behavior led to the Protestant Reformation. So a lot of these bishops were attaining enormous amounts of wealth. And this is an example of that. So the Bishop of Winchester built this amazing palace here, and this ruin is known as one of the finest examples of medieval architecture in England. So go through it. I mean, the ruins are very interesting. There are signs here that teach you all about what each room was, and it's a fascinating walkthrough.
Wolvesey Castle is a hidden gem in Winchester that a lot of people don't make it to, and what a shame because it is fascinating. It is located pretty close to Winchester Cathedral, and this medieval fortress stands as a silent witness to centuries of drama. It was built in the 12th century and served as the residence of the powerful bishops of Winchester. Imagine the political arguments and royal gatherings that took place within these impenetrable walls. As you stroll through the ruins, try and envision the medieval grandeur that once stood at this location. From the imposing entrance to the tranquil gardens, each stone whispers tales of resilience, drama, political frustration, and change. Take your time to explore the ruins. Walk through all of the different corridors as you are walking on the same ground as some of the most influential political figures in British history. The ruins allow you to comprehend the passage of time, where shadows of history cast a captivating spell that you can almost feel as you wander the eerie grounds.
So one thing that's fascinating is here is where the Archbishop lives now of Winchester, right? And right here, the ruin, is where he lived in the 1100s. So they're still using the same land, and it's just right next to it. So it's pretty cool to see. Okay, a couple minutes walk from Wolvesey Castle is this small hiking trail called Keats Walk, and that's what I'm on now. Now, Keats Walk offers you this amazing opportunity to walk through the English countryside, right? So you're along this stream with these beautiful willow trees and this amazing foliage. I highly recommend it.
Keats Walk is a short hiking trail right outside of the old city that meanders through enchanting foliage, relaxing streams, and beautiful meadows. It's the perfect place to end your big tour of Winchester because it allows you to reflect on the beauty and historical significance of the city surrounded by nature. If I could sum up Winchester in one word, it would be enchanting. The city evokes the echoes of the past and really taps into your heart, your soul, and makes you feel connected to the history of England.
Okay guys, that was Winchester, England. Now, I had a fantastic time showing you one of England's most interesting cities. I mean, the history, the architecture, the stores, the restaurants, the pubs. I mean, it is an amazing place to visit, and it's only 1 hour from London. So guys, I highly recommend you come see this when you're here in England. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video with your family and friends, and leave me your comments below, ask me any questions you may have, or leave me your suggestions for things to do when you're here in Winchester. Okay guys, until next time, take care, bye.